how a toy bear leaked 2 million kids' voice chats. How? Was Teddy wearing a wire? Ooh, spoopy.
It's such a nice, wholesome toy. We can't mess this one up.
People may be peering into your home without you even knowing it.
Who could have guessed giving a kid a stuffed animal with a microphone connected to the internet in it had the potential to go wrong?
I had no clue that this is dangerous.
So what happens when a children's toy becomes a target for hackers? In 2017, parents found out the hard way when this cute teddy bear allowed hackers to invade the lives of nearly 1 million families.
God! Imagine someone spying on your kid through a teddy bear. All I have to do is play one of my videos on the camera, and the hacker will die of cringe.
How the hackers got into the teddy bear and the trouble they caused was a nightmare
Why do you have DI in your... Okay.
no one saw coming. This is the insane story of how a toy bear leaked 2 million kids' voice chats.
Wow.
I'm Visual Venture, and we reached our goal.
Why are kids using voice chat? I feel like if you're below the age of like 13, you shouldn't be using voice chat anywhere.
Of 700,000 subscribers before the end of this year. Thank you guys a ton, and we are just
I love your
getting
lamp.
started. The ultimate hacking machine. In 2009, something was invented that made hackers all over the world very excited. It was a software called Shodan, and it was going to make hacking a whole lot easier. Although Shodan was dangerous, it wasn't locked inside a secret facility or hidden on the dark web. Anyone could use it, all they needed was a credit card. So what exactly was Shodan, and how did it make cybercriminals hack a teddy bear? Shodan is a search engine for finding unprotected devices on the internet. It scans webcams, routers, and servers online and checks if the device has a password.
Once you click search, it'll bring up all the internet-connected devices in Apex, North Carolina.
Who created this and why? I feel like this is made by hackers for hackers.
By IP address. Let's look at this one here.
Many devices connected to the internet have weak passwords or sometimes no passwords at all. Shodan finds these...
Yeah. Whose device doesn't have... You have to be a squirrel to be logging into the internet and using the password. You deserve to be hacked at that point.
vulnerable devices and lists them, making it easy to know which devices can easily be hacked. Because Shodan is so dangerous, many states made it a felony to use Shodan to collect information about a device that isn't yours.
Yeah, as if that's gonna stop people.
Even if you don't hack the device. Shodan was designed to be a research tool meant for cybersecurity professionals, researchers, and law enforcement agencies. But over time, cybercriminals started using it to find targets on the internet. When hackers find a vulnerable database on Shodan, they break in, delete the data, and demand a ransom to restore it. If the stolen data is important, hackers will pay the ransom to get it back. Hackers always ask for payment in Bitcoin because it can't be traced. It leaves no money trail. Shodan.
What is Bitcoin? This entire time, I have learned nothing about cryptocurrency. The only thing I know about crypto is to stay away from it. Hey guys, welcome to today's video. I've created my own coin. Kill yourself.
It became so popular among cybercriminals that it was nicknamed the hacker's search engine and the scariest search engine on the internet. Shodan made the internet feel like the high seas, with pirates looking for ships to capture for ransom. Then in 2015...
So even the hackers are sailing the 7 seas.
Simple mistake by the makers of this teddy bear gave cybercriminals their biggest opportunity. A toy for the whole family.
Ooh.
This is a cloud pet doll, and it was described as...
Can we stop calling things that a toy for the whole family? No one above the age of 15 has a teddy bear. Like actually playing with teddy bears. Like going out and actively playing with a teddy bear, I mean.
The best toy in the history of
I get it if you want plushies.
So happy.
But like playing with a teddy bear actively, that's a different story.
This is the best toy in the history of all toys.
At first glance, cloud pets seemed like regular stuffed animals, but they had something inside that made them dangerous. Released in 2015, cloud pets came in 4 variations: dog, cat, teddy bear, and rabbit. Each doll was 12 inches tall.
One of those not like the other.
You know, actually, he feels really nice. I'll give him this for £7. Like, even if this gimmick doesn't work, I've come out with a nice feeling teddy bear.
But here's the twist. Hidden inside each Cloud Pets toy was a small speaker, microphone, and an internet device that could send and receive messages. But why would a stuffed animal need all this tech?
So the
Probably because they're trying to do something unique.
main concept
But they didn't think it through!
of this teddy bear
Again!
is that people who are far away from their families can send their families messages, and then the message is said through the bear.
Why? For what? Call them! That's so creepy. You calling me through a teddy bear? Do you know how horrifying that is?
Messages through Cloud Pets was easy. Parents or family members downloaded the Cloud Pets
Cloud
app
Pets
on their
Premium.
smartphones and pressed a button to record a voice message. The message was then sent to the specific Cloud Pets teddy bear connected to that account. The child could press a button on the toy's paw to hear the message, and by holding the same button, they could record a reply.
What would you record if you had one of those? I would just go, Ooga Booga! I feel like that'll be really funny.
That means traveling parents or a deployed military member could send a heartfelt message to their
Traveling parents or a deployed military member. That is one extreme to the other. Jesus Christ.
child's teddy bear at home to be replayed when their child interacts with the bear.
Okay, here we go. The message we've all been waiting for.
Son, it's your father. I don't like you anymore.
When you
Okay, that's kind of cute.
create an account with Cloud Pets, you give it your child's name, an email address, photo, and more. All voice messages.
Whoa! 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 Whoa!
You give it your child's name, an email address.
You create an account, you have to give your name, email address, and photo. First of all, you're not getting an email address from me. I get enough spam emails already. Second of all, if you upload a photo of a child on the internet, hello? What world do you live in? Don't upload a picture of anyone to any checker.
Photo and
I feel like we shouldn't be focusing on like protecting the kids online, which is just mass surveillance. We should instead focus on something like educating people on how not to be stupid on the internet.
all voice messages sent through the Cloud Pets doll were saved in an online database run by Spiral Toys Inc., the company that made Cloud Pets. Cloud Pets dolls were flying off the shelves and ending up in thousands of homes.
Receive a story from your dad who's far away, or a lullaby from mom every day.
Cloud Pets were designed to help parents and kids stay in touch, which was a great idea. But then Spiral Toys, the company behind Cloud Pets, started
Maybe if you're going to be traveling or working a lot, maybe don't have a baby. Maybe only have a baby when you can dedicate time to, raising the baby.
making some really bad decisions that made them a target for the worst hackers on the internet. Spiral Toys didn't just sell Cloud Pets, they also kept the voice messages and customer details in a database.
Of
but
course
keeping
they
that
do.
data safe was going to be a problem because
And you know how all these companies are like, we delete your data after like a week. No, you don't. They never do. You know why? Because they're not legally obligated to.
the company was falling
Or maybe they
apart.
are, I don't know.
Spiral Toys was facing 2 lawsuits for infringement of intellectual property. Their chief financial officer was convicted of insider trading, and their top distributor canceled a huge order, leaving thousands of toys rotting in a warehouse. The company also made bad decisions like spending $9.6 million on ads instead of securing their database against hackers. That money was also borrowed-
$9.6 million. I'm surprised you're making that much selling toys. Holy crap.
from investors. So every time Spiral Toys sold a Cloud Pet,
Keep in mind, advertising, or at least advertising on YouTube, is very expensive. Like, you think 9 million ads would get you like 10 million views. It won't. It gets you a couple 100,000 at least.
of their profit went to paying off the multi-million-dollar debt. The company was so desperate for cash that when Cloud Pets sales slowed, they lowered the price to only $1, or in some cases free with the purchase of another item. Within a year, Spiral Toys lost more than 99% of their peak value until their stock price was around 0. By the end of 2016, Spiral Toys was a dying business, cutting corners to survive. And then, in an attempt to save money, they did something so dumb it opened the door for hackers to come in and ruin everything.
Did they sell the data? They probably did.
The leak.
Oh god. god.
As Spiral Toys struggled, they tried to find ways to save money. One of their largest expenses was the cost of storing and protecting their customers' data. Here's where they made their biggest mistake. To cut costs, they stored customer data in an insecure database that didn't require authentication to access it. In other words, anyone on the internet could find and open this database without even needing a password. This was a ridiculous thing for any company to do.
How? Bro, like, how does that even happen? How do you make a mistake like
sensitive
that?
Data are protected by firewalls and passwords. Some companies regularly test their own databases to make sure they're secure. But CloudPets did the opposite. They left all their data exposed, like leaving the front door to a vault wide open. It gets worse when you realize how sensitive CloudPets' data was. The database provided access—
I mean, I imagine it's not that bad, right? Just parents talking to the kids. Surely they're not talking about, like, banking information.
To the email addresses, family members' names, passwords, voice recordings, and profile pictures of families using CloudPets toys.
That's why you don't upload a picture of your kid to the internet! Look! I can only do so much. You gotta think on your own here.
Included 2.2 million voice messages and details on more than 820,000 users. With this CloudPets data, hackers could steal identities, empty bank accounts, and even blackmail people.
Oh my god, this is ridiculous.
Maybe Spiral Toys didn't realize the danger, or maybe they just didn't care. Parents and kids continued to send messages back and forth through the CloudPets doll, unaware that every word they said was exposed on the internet. Luckily, cybercriminals haven't—
The thing is, I just assume everything I do is exposed on the internet. That's how you be safe. Just assume everyone is like out to get you. That's how you be safe on the internet.
Found the database just yet. But remember Shodan, the search engine scanning the web for unprotected systems? It was still scanning, which meant hackers could find the CloudPets database at any moment. It was a disaster waiting to happen. But there was one man that could save the situation. His name was Troy Hunt. Troy had a very unique job.
no.
He was an independent security researcher.
His surname is Hunt? Oh god.
Researcher and data breach expert. A big part of his job
This
was
can only end
investigating
well.
data breaches and leaks on the internet. Companies sometimes don't notice when their data has been hacked or leaked. When Hunt finds
Why is it always just like an elderly white guy? What's up with that?
evidence that a company has been hacked, he contacts the breached company to notify them of the problem. Troy even created a website called Have I Been Pwned, which helps regular people check if their email has been involved in a data breach. In summary, Troy Hunt was the guy you call when hackers are trying to steal your data. In February 2017, Troy received a message about one of the biggest data leaks he'd ever seen. Someone reached out to him claiming he had a copy of the entire CloudPets database. As proof, the informant sent Troy a snippet containing around 500,000 records
Oh, okay, at least I gave him a warning.
of CloudPets customers. Troy's first move was to check if what the guy sent was really the CloudPets database. Luckily, Troy knew someone who bought their daughter a CloudPet, so he decided to check that person's login details against the leaked data. In no time, Troy was able to locate this person's email address and CloudPet's password. Troy also discovered more about the person, their kids' names, birthdays, and their relationship with users.
Oh my god, don't put this information on the internet! Every email I've ever made just says I was born in like 2000 or 1990. Just stop! Don't put accurate information on the internet!
Like your parents, grandparents, and friends were all accessible. The data was real. In this case,
my name is Grug! Grug! For every email, it's Grug! Well, for most emails.
Wasn't on the dark web yet. It was sitting out in the open, accessible to anyone with basic hacking skills. Cybercriminals could unleash hell if they got hold of this data. The only way to stop it was to warn Spiral Toys to secure their data, but before Troy could act, he heard something that made the situation much worse. Apparently, the guy who told Troy about the leak already sent multiple emails to Spiral Toys to warn them, and he couldn't believe what happened. In December 2016, the guy sent his first email to Spiral Toys, but the message immediately bounced back. Then he sent another email to a different Spiral Toys address and waited for a reply. Hours turned into days.
That's just what support is like with these big tech companies. I don't know why so many of these big tech companies are so hesitant to have good customer support. Like, bruh, customers is what keeps your business alive. How about you give them some decent support? and not put an AI in front of it.
But there was no response. 4 days later, he sent a third email to Spiral Toys' hosting provider. Once again, he received no reply. This was more than frustrating, it was dangerous. After hearing the guy's story, Troy realized that sending an email to Spiral Toys wouldn't help. So Troy decided to pick up the phone and call the company. That was even worse because their contact information was a mess. Spiral Toys' phone numbers went to a man who claimed he didn't work for Spiral Toys, or it randomly went to a taxi service in New Jersey. He tried to reach them through LinkedIn, Zendesk, Twitter, and even via private email. Still no response.
How about you teach them a lesson? To have their shit together.
The Cloud Pets Twitter account was also dormant. It was like Spiral Toys had vanished, leaving customer data floating in the open. In cybersecurity, there is an unwritten rule to give companies time to fix problems before going public. It's called responsible disclosure, but it became clear that Spiral Toys wasn't fixing the problem. None of the Cloud Pets customers knew about the exposed database. This meant that their passwords and emails were still active. With over 800,000 users exposed, the fallout could be huge. Then came the last straw. Troy realized the Cloud Pets database was indexed by Shodan, meaning Shodan scanned and put it on its list. This increases the chances of cyber criminals finding it. Since Spiral Toys wasn't taking any action, Troy decided to go public. Going public with a data breach can force a company to
He went public with a data breach. Honk honk, welcome to the clown factory!
To act, but it can also let hackers know about the unprotected data. It was a risky move, but Hunt didn't have a choice. The moment he went public, it would be a race to see who acted first. The company trying to secure the data or criminals trying to steal it. Troy crossed his fingers and blew the whistle. He published a blog post about the exposed database and notified tech websites like Motherboard and Vice. Once Vice shared the story, more media outlets picked it up, and the news spread like wildfire.
Which is surprising. Who could have guessed?
Surely someone sues him, right?
Giving a kid a stuffed animal with a microphone connected to the internet in it had the potential to go wrong.
I mean, it's on
FBI
the
has
news.
a warning this morning about smart toys with Wi-Fi and Bluetooth technology, saying that they could be dangerous for your kids.
Cloud Pets, because you are never safe.
Everyone, including those who didn't own a Cloud Pets doll, now knew about its exposed database. The cops even got involved, warning parents to stop using Cloud Pets dolls.
Police recommend if you do have a toy like this, turn it off and leave it in a drawer or closet.
Troy hoped the media's pressure would make Spiral Toys secure the database before the data was stolen. Unfortunately, it was too late. Hackers already found the Cloud Pets data. The photos, voice recordings, and emails.
Man, who could have seen this come? Obviously, they're going to find it first.
100,000 users were now in the hands of cyber criminals. The thing everyone feared finally happened: the ransom. Cybercriminals found the Cloud Pets database and stole the data. But they didn't just steal it. They went a step further and wiped the entire database clean. In the place of the data was a ransom note demanding Bitcoin as payment to return the data. The message read, "Your database is backed up on our servers. Send 1 Bitcoin to this account and send your IP address to this email." If Spiral Toys did
1 Bitcoin. Is that worth? How much is 1 Bitcoin?
Pay up, the data would be gone for good. Or worse, it could be sold to other hackers on the dark web. Apparently, 3 different ransoms were left by different hackers who each stole the data. When parents heard about the ransom demands, they were furious. They called and sent emails to Spiral Toys demanding answers. Why didn't the company—
Yeah, good luck with that. The other guy tried. This could have been all avoided if they responded to the first guy's emails.
Protect the data better. Why didn't they tell customers?
Honestly,
about it
I'm
sooner?
kind of glad, because these companies, they get away with way too much. I'm glad there's some repercussions.
However,
maybe this time they will learn their lesson.
Questions weren't answered because the company's emails and phone lines still weren't active. Parents took to social media to express their frustration. One tweeted, "I'm really sick of these connected toys. If your little one has Cloud Pets, there's a pretty high likelihood that your data is now in the hands of nefarious individuals." Parents were worried about the ransom, but they had a meltdown.
And we're going to have this, you know, with this whole UK mass censorship thing, and they're making this thing called digital IDs. Do you know what will happen if people have digital IDs that they have to upload onto the internet? Digital IDs, mind you, with real information like your ID and your phone number and your legal information, maybe your tax number. I don't know. A lot of information is going to be stolen. This is going to happen. Hackers are going to steal your information. It's gonna happen. This is why when the whole censorship thing comes and they want like digital IDs and all this kind of stuff, I'm just gonna leave the internet. There is no way in heaven's name will I ever give up any of my information on the internet.
Cybersecurity,
and I hope you think the same way as I do.
Experts on TV explained how much damage hackers could do with the stolen data. Since it included voice recordings from kids, hackers could use the recordings to impersonate children. They could scam parents by sending fake messages pretending to be their child in need of help. The hackers also stole email addresses and passwords. Data shows that 78% of people reuse the same password across multiple accounts, so hackers could use the stolen passwords to break into other accounts.
Don't do that. I was also a person who did that. Yeah, make sure each of your passwords has like some tiny bit of variation. Whether it's a number or a symbol, just make sure there's variation.
Social media and shopping websites. Another problem is identity theft. The FBI explained that hackers could use CloudPets data to steal a child's identity, open credit accounts, and even find their home. In a worst case scenario, hackers could use the voice recordings of parents and grandparents to contact kids, tricking them into thinking that they're talking to a trusted family member. These weren't far-fetched scenarios.
Like if this is happening now, imagine the damage and scale when the UK does this. I can't wait to see the heads roll when they realize how stupid of a decision that was.
It actually happened if the stolen data wasn't recovered. The hackers
we all know what's going to happen.
A ransom to return the data. The big question was whether Spiral Toys would pay. After pressure from the media, Spiral Toys finally released a statement, but what they said just made people angrier. Parents wanted an apology and a solution, but what they got was a series of excuses. In an official statement, Spiral Toys described the issue as minimal and said they took immediate action to protect customer data once they discovered the breach. Initially,
you don't have the data. What do you mean?
The CEO of Spiral Toys claimed that the company never received the warnings about the leak. He said the company even checked
never received the warnings. Maybe you would if your customer service worked.
Inboxes, but didn't find any messages from security researchers warning about the breach. That was quickly debunked by Troy Hunt, who repeatedly tried to contact them before going public. After saying that the company never received warnings, the Spiral Toys CEO changed the story, saying, "We did have a reporter try to contact us multiple times last week. You don't respond to some random person about a data breach."
CEOs, am I right? That's like, CEOs, am I right? Like, bruh, the least you could do is look into it. You don't have to respond to the person. You just get your team, you get off your ass, and you look into it just to make sure.
But Spiral Toys wasn't done annoying its victims. In a statement published on the CloudPets website, the company explained why it stored its customer data on an unsecure online database. The company said the unprotected database was being used for a short time during an upgrade to the CloudPets app. Also, that exposed database was managed by an outside company, so technically CloudPets didn't screw up. This excuse only made them look
they are so out of touch, it's comically bad.
Irresponsible. The public backlash was so strong that Amazon, Walmart, and Target pulled.
Keep in mind, these CEOs are the people who are in charge of the world. These out of touch people who doesn't understand a damn thing anymore are the people who are making all the important decisions. Isn't that horrifying? That's why you see AI everywhere these days, even though nobody wants it. It's so annoying. Stop with the AI!
Stores. They didn't want to be associated with a company that fumbled such a serious security breach. This was a huge blow to Spiral Toys, considering the company was already struggling to stay in business. After getting kicked out of big stores, CloudPets ended up in 99-cent stores. Someone saw it and tweeted, "All the compromised CloudPets at the 99-cent store." I like how they covered the name with a sticker, hoping nobody notices. But
are you serious? Are they still selling it? I hope at the least they did was take down the whole Wi-Fi access thing, and so that you can't do the internet thing anymore. So it's just an offline teddy bear, which is a horrible, it's a dystopian thing to say. An offline teddy bear. Back in my day, those were all teddy bears.
Spiral Toys was in more trouble. A senator sent a letter to the company demanding answers about the breach. There was even a possibility of criminal charges depending on the facts.
A possibility! God, the legal system sucks ass. What do you mean? People's passwords, photos,
the case. So how did this crazy story
Oh my
end?
God.
Paying ransom doesn't guarantee that the data will be returned, so Cloud Pets never paid it. Besides, Spiral Toys was so broke, they couldn't even afford to pay it even if they wanted to. This also meant that criminals still had the data and could use it in many terrible ways. Cloud Pets customers changed the passwords to their accounts to protect themselves. While changing passwords was necessary, it might not have been enough to undo the damage. In 2017 alone, more than 1 million children were victims of identity fraud, resulting in total losses of $2.6 billion.
1 million children were victims of identity theft. And you're telling me there's a possibility of criminal... What? Make it make sense. Someone explain to me how there's only a possibility. I'm losing my mind. I feel like I'm going to punch my walls. Holy crap.
Cloud Pets data was stolen in early 2017 and it contained kids' data. Could that be why children's identity theft...
Protect the kids. How about you protect the kids by...
increased that year? According...
This just goes to show, it's never about the kids. All these companies care about is their own asses.
To Troy Hunt and other cybersecurity experts, the Cloud Pets database is making rounds in the internet underground. This means that families could still be at risk even years after their Cloud Pets data was stolen. Surprisingly, Cloud Pets dolls are still on the market. You can buy one on websites.
Are you serious?
Sites and some secondhand retailers have them on eBay. You might even find one at a local swap meet. Prices range from the original retail value of $49.99 to $24.99.
Not to mention that $49 for a teddy bear. No!
Or, if you're really lucky, $1. Spiral Toys Inc. has completely collapsed. The company...
Good! I got good! Now, that's part one. Part two is supposed to be criminal charges.
For data breaches, didn't tell anyone, were held ransom, ignored help offered by researchers, allowed children's voice data to be compromised, and were pretty bad at doing the right thing all along. Maybe it was for the best that they shut down.
The right thing? They were pretty bad at doing anything.
The good news is that the Cloud Pet scandal raised awareness about the risks of internet-connected toys.
First thing you want to do is really
This is what I'm saying. We shouldn't be trying to censor things and bring these digital IDs. What we need is to educate people on internet safety. Because, let's be honest, in what school do they actually educate people on online safety? Well, at least in my country, that's non-existent. You gotta learn the hard way. Which is insane to say, because everyone uses the internet. Why are we not? Am I the crazy person? I might be. I might actually be.
You don't want to just buy any product. You want to make sure that you know the company, you know where they're storing your information.
Troy Hunt gave the best advice on this issue. He said if it's connected to the internet, you can't treat it like it's a child's plaything. There are very real risks involved whenever data is uploaded to a server, even if it comes from a toy. It's up to us to be aware, informed, and careful in this increasingly connected world. Visual venture.
It's insane.
If you guys
yeah, baby, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. God, that it just blows my mind. It really does. Goddamn, on how people are so just not educated on internet culture and how the internet works and stuff like that, despite using it, because literally everyone does. Well, almost everyone. But yeah, goddamn, that's gonna do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. This was Visual Venture. If you'd like me to watch more of his videos, please let me know in the comments below, because I really enjoy his editing. I'm frozen. I really enjoy his editing, his voice acting. I love the story. So please let me know if you'd like to see more. But for now, that's gonna do it for me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye. My head hurts. Hi. If you like this video, then please be sure to like, comment and subscribe to the channel. We also stream every Friday on Twitch at twitch.tv/themastersky. Or if you really love me, wink wink, then come support us on Patreon at patreon.com/mastersky to stay up to date with all of our new projects. And we also have a Discord server. We're looking for new members, so come say hey. Looking forward to seeing you there. Bye bye.